Good morning vlog. I haven't vlogged for 2 days at this point. Um, just hasn't worked out for me. I definitely have tried, but hasn't happened. So here I am. The last 2 days have been pretty chill. Don't mind the dishes over there. I was eating last night right before bed, and I was just too lazy. So that's on me. Those will go to the sink today. But anywho, um, it is probably like 6:30 right now. Beebs just left for work. He was late. I know that because usually he has to be there by 6. So he's on his way to work. And he will obviously text me when he gets there. But yeah, last night I ended up going to my sister's place because she got a new critter. She got a hamster. She named her Cloud. She is a very, very chunky girl. So I went over to hold her. She's so, so cute. And my sister and I ended up hanging out for a little bit. I helped her with some reptile chores, and she actually ended up giving me a tattoo. So I will show you that. Before I show you though, if you guys don't know, my sister has tattoos all over her, including thigh tattoos. That being said, I've always wanted a tattoo on my thigh. I've never had one. You guys know I only have one on my ankle, one on my chest, and then the rest are on my arms. So yeah, I will show you. I am not going to move the camera at all because I'm not wearing pants, but it does have second skin on it right now, you guys can tell. But this has always been one of my favorite scriptures. This isn't word for word how it says it in the scripture, but I wanted it to apply to like right now in my life. So we kind of worded it a little bit like present tense almost. But it says, fight the good fight, finish the race, keep the faith, and that is 2 Timothy 4:7. I think it looks so good. It was so painful. We didn't use Aquaphor this time, while or after tattooing. Pain-wise, bad idea, but healing-wise, great idea, because usually if we use Aquaphor at all, the second skin, it never stays. So yeah, it definitely was painful for me. Probably like an 11 out of 10 for me. I know that sounds dramatic. Like I literally have one on my chest. I've got one on like right on my ankle bone. But this one was painful. I think most of that is because we didn't use Aquaphor during or after, like I said. But we actually, it took us longer than expected because we were looking for my sister's bottle of stencil solution. We had found like all the other supplies that she has, like everything else that we needed, and couldn't find the stencil solution. We searched the closet that it's normally in, literally like up and down for this solution. Couldn't find it anywhere. We checked the bathroom, we checked the hall closet, like we checked everywhere. And then eventually I was like, why don't we just look up like alternatives for stencil solution if there are any? And a bunch of alternatives popped up, like water-based lube, speed stick, deodorant, like all like weird shit like that. And I was like, do you have any of that? First we were gonna use deodorant, and then she ended up finding some water-based lube, and it worked literally perfectly. I have pictures of when we put the stencil on my skin. It looked beautiful. So we had the stencil made for probably about 2 hours before we actually started tattooing. But we got it done, and I'm super happy with how it looks. It doesn't hurt so bad today. The pain is definitely still there, but I feel like the second skin is helping a lot. So yeah, I will obviously update you guys as time goes, and show you the healing process, but for right now, I've got a little bit of an ink sac. So yeah, we were both like absolutely shocked that lube would work for a stencil solution. It did like specifically say water-based lube. Neither of us knew that that is similar to stencil solution, but apparently it is. Worked very, very well. So yeah, that is the tattoo. Definitely painful, but I don't regret it. Also, I think I mentioned both of the bows are off my nails, but last night I was in the bath and I had another casualty. You guys can see the polish chipped off on the corner. Luckily, my natural nail stayed, like it didn't take my natural nail with it. It was just the plump and the polish and the clear coat. So luckily my natural nail is still there, so it won't affect my length at all, and I can still keep just building my natural nail. So yeah, that happened. That's pretty much an update on last night. Didn't really get up to anything else. I took a bath, like I said. Yeah, pretty much just a boring night. And Beebs obviously just like stayed home and worked on his computer. I believe I've mentioned that he's been doing coding classes. So he did that while I was gone. And then I got home at probably like almost 10 or maybe like a little bit after 10. So he was so sweet and waited up for me. And then we hung out for like half hour and then we went to bed. So I have a little update on my weird side effects that I was having to the Wellbutrin. I mentioned to you guys that I wasn't even sure if it was the medication. So when we went to my dad's the other night for the Superbowl, which we did go, it was awesome to spend time with him. When we went, I ended up Googling side effects, common side effects for that medication, because I was obviously having the stomach pain, and earlier that day I had felt fevered. So I Googled up and pulled up a list of side effects, and like persistent sweating was one of the side effects. And I was like, oh, like that makes sense. That's like why I've been feeling, I guess, like sort of fevered-ish. So that gave me some reassurance, and I was like, thank God nothing else is wrong. Like it is the medication. And the stomach pain wasn't on the list, so I Googled like that itself to see if that was a side effect as well. It's very common. Turns out a lot of people experience like stomach ache / cramping pretty persistently throughout like the first few weeks. So yeah, that is common as well. And then I ended up asking my stepmom. If you guys don't know, my stepmom is a medical assistant. That's what she does for a living. So I asked her her opinion and like what I should do, if I like what I can do for relief. And she told me like you need to give it like a few weeks before you make a final decision. Like don't just say fuck it and like be done taking it now because you haven't waited long enough. And then she said like even if you wait a few weeks and it's not better, like if you're not feeling better as far as like side effects go, then you can talk to your doctor. But even then, like no matter what decision you make, don't ever just stop taking it. Like I don't think that's good with any medication to cold turkey it, but obviously like I would have to like lean off of it slowly. So yeah, I'm not making any decisions yet. So far I do love how the pill makes me feel depression wise and like obviously mentally. So yeah, it's been making me feel good. The only negative thing has been the 2 bad shitty side effects I've been having. Anyway, in that same breath I also asked her like what can I do for relief, like what do you recommend. And she suggested peppermint oil capsules. You can get them anywhere, Walmart, anywhere they sell like supplements. Um, because peppermint does help with like upset stomach, cramps, all of that stuff. I felt kind of stupid in that moment because my sister and I grew up with our mom using peppermint oil on us when we had like stomach aches or cramps or whatever. Like she would always use peppermint oil, so I felt kind of stupid. Then it like clicked to me and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Um, so like I said, she had suggested the capsules and she happened to have a bottle of them that she, I guess, was willing to give to me, which was so sweet. I don't have the actual bottle here, but they're just the Equate brand intestinal comfort. That's what they're called. And they're just purified peppermint oil. I do have some of the pills. Like I said, the bottle isn't in here. It's in the medicine cabinet in the kitchen. But yesterday I refilled my pill container, and I'll mention the peppermint capsules while I also talk about this. So this is what they look like. They're just little peppermint oil nuggets. And obviously there's no limit on how many you can take. They are just oil. So anyway, those are the capsules. So I want to say thank you to Nicole. I have found some relief for my side effects that I've been having. So thank you to her. So that's that rant. Anyway, like I was saying with the pill container, I refilled it, like I said. Obviously the peppermint capsules are in here. I have my 3 of my anxiety meds, and then I have 3 doses of the arthritis pain relief, like the extra strength Tylenol I've told you guys that I use. So I refilled that, and this just stays in my purse for on the go. You guys know I also have this container full of my anxiety meds, just in case. Anxiety meds are important for me. I'm an anxious bean, so yeah. And then you guys know at night I take Tylenol PM, so I also have this in my bag as well. We obviously refilled this container with Sam's Club Tylenol PM. I don't know if I mentioned that, but now all of my meds, including stomach pain relief, are in my purse. So also on the topic of the peppermint for the pain relief, the same night as the Super Bowl, Beebs ended up going to Smith's down the street to pick up like a gallon of milk and a couple other things. And I asked him to grab me peppermint tea because that can also help, considering that it is peppermint. You guys know I like the Celestial Seasonings brand. You guys have seen the chamomile tea that I drink. He couldn't find peppermint in that brand. I just love that brand. I've been conditioned to love it because I grew up drinking that. Like, that's what my mom would make me. Anyway, he found Bigelow peppermint tea. Obviously, all herbal tea is caffeine free, but I do like this packaging better than the other brand's packaging. I will say that. So cute. Comes in a little sleeve. Looks like that. And then it says, take this moment just for you. Steep 4 minutes. Ingredients are literally just peppermint leaves. So it comes in this. You guys have seen the chamomile tea bags. It's like literally just the tea bag itself, like no string, no tab, no nothing. But these have the string and the tab, which makes it a lot easier to get your tea bag out of the hot water. So yeah, I got those, and I've had a few cups of tea since picking this up. It's been helping with my stomach pain. And I obviously, like I said, there's no limit on the peppermint capsules or peppermint in general, really. So usually I will take, depending on how bad the pain is, I will take 1 or 2 of the capsules and drink it with a cup of tea. So I also wanted to mention that. And also, really quick, I don't like sugar, or I don't like honey in my peppermint. I only do sugar. As opposed to the chamomile, I do honey and sugar. So that's that. While I'm up and thinking about it, I'm gonna take my pills. So I brought out my daily dose. I'm gonna get these in my system real quick. So I already took my daily dose, but I just wanted to show you this is what the antidepressant looks like. That's causing all of this pain for me. I like the way it makes me feel, but I didn't know that such a small little medication could cause so much pain. Which, by the way, I'm in the reptile room now, if you can't tell. I also wanted to mention that the like constant sweating / like fevered feeling that I mentioned has gone away. Thank God, because I was suffering when it came to that. So that is gone now. It's just the stomach pain. It's definitely getting better, not only over time, but with the relief that I found. So thanks to the amazing Nicole for that. I love her. I did throw on some shorts just so I don't accidentally flash myself. So yeah, I just misted Ghosty, and I'm just gonna do Grogu real quick. I don't have a specific time that I do this. I just do it whenever I wake up. But look at Mr. Grogu, man. Look how pretty he looks. That little log situation is probably his favorite place to be. I find him in there every morning when I come in here, so he really loves that spot. Okay, back in the bedroom. I got my pills and brought them back in here to put them away. I try to make sure that they're always in my drawer so they're just easily accessible in the morning and at night. So I will be putting these away. But yeah, also yesterday we got our new sheets from Amazon. You guys have seen the sheets that we had before, the green ones. They were very old. Beebs had them for literally years, like before him and I even like were a thought in each other's minds. And then the last time they went through the washer, they came out with a giant rip in them, a giant hole. They were like almost like shredding apart. It was really weird, but it was kind of expected because they were old, like I said. So about 15 minutes before he got home yesterday, I checked outside our front door, and sure enough, our sheets were there. So I did make the bed. I'm not gonna get up because I'm lazy, but they're just like this dark blue color. And then our pillows have never matched, like as far as like matching with each other or with the sheets, like they're never coordinated. So obviously the sheets came like a normal sheet set with a fitted sheet, a flat sheet, and 2 pillowcases. So I just put one of my pillows and one of Beeb's pillows in the matching pillowcases. And when I made the bed yesterday, I put those pillows in front so it all coordinated together. And our comforter has blue in it. So it already matched the comforter pretty well, I felt like. So we're glad to have new sheets. It's needed to happen for a while. And maybe that'll give me more inspiration to actually make the bed. But like I mentioned, the comforter does have blue in it, so I think it matches pretty well. And this is like the most beautiful shade of like royal blue I've ever seen. So soft. And they were only like $15 on Amazon, so not bad at all. So I turned the blinds up a little bit to give you guys a view check this morning. It's barely light outside at this point. So yeah, very, very cold. It was below freezing last night. All right, while I am thinking about it, again, I'm going to take my blood pressure. You guys know I've been taking it every single day, so we're gonna do that real quick. All right, I've got my blood pressure cuff. You guys saw that I moved this to my nightstand the other day, so it's ready for me when I wake up to take my blood pressure. I'm going to do this real quick and then I will show you guys the reading. I would film it, but I can't like talk or move obviously while it's taking my blood pressure, so I will come back and show you the reading. Also, before I start, you guys know that I write everything down on a sticky note and I just keep it in my journal. I kind of want to start doing like daily and nightly readings, obviously, because then my doctors can get a good comparison on like the beginning of the day versus the end of the day after I've been doing stuff and I've been active and everything. I will tell you yesterday's it was 123/82. That reading is technically hypertension. This blood pressure cuff will tell you if it is or not. The first time I got that reading, I was very concerned. I did tell my cardiologist and he said, that's nothing to be worried about. And he obviously like told me what to watch for. So I finally found a pen in this goddamn place. I couldn't find one. So I'm gonna hurry quickly and do this.
Arm. Cuff placement must match. Your systolic pressure is 119. Your diastolic pressure is 76. Your pulse is 77.
Okay, you guys obviously saw the reading. Normal reading. It is a little bit low. Typical normal blood pressure is like 120/80. So it's a bit low, but not extremely low or like dangerously low at all. Like barely low in my opinion. My pulse recently, my BPM has been very, very steady. In the last 5 days, it's been between 73 and 77. As you can see, 2 of the days it was 73, and then the rest of the time it's been 77. So very, very steady. Very happy with the readings lately. So that's checked off my list, and it was a good thing. So real quick, while we're on the topic of blood pressure, they usually want me to take it around an hour after I take my daily meds, but sometimes I forget, so I like to do it first thing in the morning, right after I wake up, right after I take my pills, while I'm thinking about all of that kind of stuff. So that's when I do it. Like I said, my doctors would prefer me to do it an hour after my meds are in my system, but that doesn't always happen. I try to. Happen sometimes, but not every time. So real quick, while I'm sitting here, I'm going to do a what's in my purse. You guys have no choice. I'm going to do it anyway. Sucks for you. So obviously I'm carrying my Loungefly Care Bear backpack. I've been carrying this since I got it. So yeah, we're going to go through this bag of wonders and I'm just going to show you guys what's in here as of right now. I did not just like throw stuff in here. Like this is just real and raw and random. So yeah, starting in the little front pocket, the only thing I have is a few things, junk mostly. But the only important thing I have is my wallet. You guys have seen this before. It's a minor history wallet. Envelope, super cute. Love this. Just, we all know what's in a wallet. So, I don't even remember the last time I showed you guys what's in here. So, hopefully it wasn't too recent. A straw wrapper. Don't know how that got in there. This is a corner of a Milky Way packaging. More Milky Way packaging. I have a tongue ring. I got these for Christmas from Beebs. They're gold with the little gem. I will be putting that in. I didn't realize I had that in here. A quarter. And this little essential oil bottle. I believe I showed you guys that I put the part of what's left of the very vanilla pheromone oil Haley gave me in here. My sister told me that I can get one of these with a dropper off of Amazon. I asked her because she has one full of cuticle oil and I wanted to know where she got it. So that's that. That is everything in the front pocket. I'm going to put everything back aside from the garbage. So yeah, that's the front pocket. I guess before we move on, I'll show you the outside of the bag. You guys know I have my Cheer Bear and my little snorkeling Hello Kitty. I got this in a blind box, both from Beads. Love that. Moving into where everything just kind of floats around. I have my Zenny glasses case. My sister gave me frames from them, and then I was a dumb fuck and left them at my family's cabin. But anywho, I have my blue light glasses in here at the moment. This is what they look like. The reflection bothers me, so I'm going to take them off, but super cute. They have like the norms. A lot of glasses have that. So super cute. These are very scratched and very dirty, but I love them. And then the frames my sister gave me with this case also came with obviously a cleaning cloth. So I keep those in here. I told you guys in a previous vlog when we went to see my grandpa's band, I believe, that my dad clocked me for how scratched and dirty these were. So maybe I should get like actual lens cleaner so he doesn't clock me. That way I have something to use with the cleaning rag. We'll see. Next, I have my Baby Yoda pouch. This was found at the DI by my grandma. I have nail clippers. I don't know why. Not for me, obviously, because I get my nails done, but maybe for toenails for me. That would be something I've never thought of before for some reason. So I have those in there, maybe in case someone else needs them. And then my favorite necklace. I believe this was in my last what's in my purse, like when I first got this bag. If I even did that, I don't really remember. But you guys know I got this off of Amazon. It's a human heart necklace, original chain. This necklace is really nice. So I have those two things in here. That is really only my only daily necklace. My locket broke. So yeah. Next, I have the things I mentioned earlier. Anxiety meds, my Tylenol PM for on the go, and then the 3 meds that I mentioned that are in here. So I have those. I have literal 5 lip products, so I'll go through these. I don't believe these have changed. I maybe added a chapstick since last time I showed you guys. Like I said, I don't even remember if I showed you guys. But I have the ColourPop Yum 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 Lip Mask Winnie the Pooh, and also the Winnie the Pooh Hungry Bear Lip Scrub. Beebs surprised me with these at Target. I believe I've also mentioned that. So, lip mask, lip scrub. Love these. They smell like honey. I have the Super Stay Vinyl Ink in 95 Captivating. You guys have seen this before. And then 2 chapsticks, Blistex Raspberry Lemonade Blast. I'm wearing this as we speak. And chapstick gingerbread cookie. I told you about the OG one. And then Beebs went and found this one because I loved the other one so much. Okay, a few more things. I have 2 hair ties. I'm actually going to throw these in the front pocket, but they are the creaseless hair ties. You guys saw me picking up literally hundreds of these in my closet bedroom clean out video. So I have those. I have eye drops. I tend to get really dry eyes, and I also used to use these a lot when I smoked. These are the Blink Triple Care Lubricating Eye Drops. So you never know when you're going to need these. Maybe you're getting a little bit tired on a long drive. Maybe you do smoke weed and you need something to get rid of the redness. These work. So have those. And then I've also mentioned this before in a vlog, the Rose hand cream. I got 4 of these from Rochelle, so I have that guy in there. A couple more, 3 more things. I have the Vaseline Cocoa Butter Healing Jelly. I use this for pretty much anything. Got this at Walmart. I did get the smaller container because it will last my lifetime, and who needs a giant one that I will never finish if I can just start with this size. And then obviously if I like it and I use it all, I will make the move and purchase the bigger one. All right, last two things. I have my earbuds. I've talked about these before. They're the JLab something Go Pop earbuds, and they're the lavender ones. I use these every night, like I've said before. And then I have a pad. You never know. Sometimes your period starts without warning, or it doesn't start on the day it's supposed to if you track your period. I personally don't. I probably should, but you never know. If it's not for me, if I'm around another female and they happen to start their period and they need a pad, I will have one. So yeah, this is empty now. This is what the bag looked like. Empty. It is dirty. You guys know it was used. I found it at the pawn shop, but I don't have a problem. And I don't put anything in this like open pocket because shit just falls out of it, and I'm not really a fan of putting stuff in there. But it's there just in case I need to slide something else in here. Maybe that I want separate from all the other stuff floating around. But that is everything that's in my bag at the moment. It's just a collect-all. Oh, I forgot to mention on the outside, without showing Beeb's place of work, I got this. I attached this hand sanitizer that Beeb's got when he first started at his job. So I've been needing hand sanitizer a lot recently. I don't know what my problem is, but I've noticed that like we'll be out and about and I'm never near a sink, and I somehow always need to wash my hands, like when we're not near a gas station or when we're already on the way somewhere. Like for example, when we took Ruby to get her shots, I needed to wash my hands, and we were on a 20, almost half an hour drive, so I keep that on me now just in case. Beebs obviously has his own hand sanitizer in both the Corolla and his truck. I do need to put some eventually in my car. I do want to clean out my car and like make it cute. So if you guys want a car tour, let me know. But yeah, so now I have hand sanitizer on my bag. Also, something that's usually in there, it's not right now. I was using it to brush my hair this morning, is a wet brush, a mini one. You can get these like really cheap at Walmart. I keep a mini one in my bag. I've mentioned before that an extension hack, at least for me, is to use a wet brush. So I have that, which is usually in there. So yeah, that's my random what's in my purse. So while I'm sitting here comfy in bed with my cozy little lights on, I am going to open the window so I can watch the sun come the rest of the way up and get some natural lighting, obviously. But like I said, for a minute, I'm going to sit here and do some journaling. Journaled a decent amount yesterday. I was actually pretty productive yesterday afternoon. I did laundry. I believe I did the dishes, started the dishwasher, and then I also had to call and finalize my Medicaid application, and I'll find out in around 7 to 10 days if I got approved. So yeah, like I've said 3 times, I'm gonna do a little bit of this while I'm sitting here. Okay, it's been literally like 20 minutes. I only wrote not even a full sentence, like I'm not even kidding, before this pen gave out on me. For some reason, I can't find a single decent pen in this place. I know Beebs has a problem with hoarding pens, so I'm gonna steal some of his pens that he's hoarded, that were mostly mine, by the way, out of the Corolla. Anyway, I pulled out my little art supply / pencil box out of the closet, and I'm going to try to find a pen that actually has ink that I can write with. I do have a bunch of pencils, mechanical pencils. I like mechanical pencils, but I do prefer to write in ink when it comes to my journal. So, oh my god, a silly band. That's a throwback. I think it's supposed to be a mermaid. My uncle just replied to my story. Well, cousin. I call him uncle. There's literally not a single pen in here. What am I supposed to do? There are all of the gauges from when I used to stretch my ears, the gauges and the tapers. If you didn't know, I used to stretch my ears way back when. I wish I still was, but they are fully closed now. Anyway, not the point. I can't find a pen, so I might not be able to journal unless I write in pencil. Literally the most frustrating part about this whole thing is I had a really good pen yesterday and I spent the last 20 minutes searching for it, but I have no idea what the fuck I could have done with it unless Beeb stole it, and I will be mad if he did that. So it's probably somewhere and I'm just not remembering where I put it, but I might not be able to journal. I will update. So 15 minutes later, I ended up finding another zebra pen. I believe this is the one Beebs brought home from work, but it doesn't work very well whatsoever. No surprise. I wrote a paragraph or so, but it's just not working out for me. So yeah, this dark writing, like right here, is the good pen that I was using yesterday, but I have no fucking idea where I put it, like I said. So I'm gonna text Beebs and ask him if he stole it, and if he did, I will fight him. Like next time I see him, it's fucking on site. That sucks. I went through the little toolbox that Beebs had on his dresser. Don't worry, I'm not like going through his shit. I literally am just trying to find a pen. No luck. I did find 2 pens that he was hoarding, but from what I know, neither of them work. So I think I'm gonna let the dogs out. It is only 7:41 at the moment, but I'm going to let them out. They need to be out a little earlier today. I feel bad. They've been in their kennel till like noon recently because I've been sleeping a lot. So I think we're gonna take those dogs out. Usually I only take Indy out when I'm up. Beebs takes them obviously right before he leaves. Focus. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, she probably doesn't need to go out this early because Beebs left at like 6:25. So it's only been a little over an hour. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. I do need to take my dirty dishes out to the sink at some point this morning, but I just have not done it yet. Daylight update. It's definitely getting a lot brighter outside. Also, I might ask my sister. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I might ask my sister if she can do my toes today. We shall see. And this is the disaster I've made searching for a pen, by the way. I guess I will wait till later in the day to do the rest of my journaling. That way Beebs is home and I can snag one of the pens he's hoarding out of the Corolla. Usually I like to journal like throughout the day, but today that's not happening. Don't mind the lighting. There's nothing I can do about it right now. It's bothering me that I can't find a pen, so I am indeed still searching, and so far, no luck. I might just give it up for right now, honestly. I don't want to frustrate myself. It is a little bit irritating, I'm not gonna lie. But we're gonna move on for now, and hopefully I can find one in the Corolla when my love gets home. And I am indeed gonna call him out for hoarding all the pens. I've called him out once, but I will do it again. So while I'm out of bed, before I climb back in that fucker and probably fall asleep again, I'm gonna take all my garbage and dishes out to the sink. And I might make some chamomile tea today. I made peppermint yesterday. My stomach is hurting a little bit and cramping right now, so I'm going to also take a peppermint capsule. I'm not going to take the ones in my purse, so I will actually show you what the bottle itself looks like. So last night I cooked dinner and I made brownies while Beebs was on the phone with Frank. I've made fun of Frank. Well, not made fun of him. I've joked about Frank before. But I decided to make dinner and let Beebs relax because he worked all day. So we had gone to Smith's and picked up the Velveeta creamy beef stroganoff. We like the cheesy mac, like hamburger helper as well from Velveeta. But anyway, last night I made the stroganoff and then I ended up not finishing my bowl when we were eating last night. So Beebs ate the rest of it. Originally he was going to take the Tupperware that I dished up with the rest of what was in the pan to work, but he decided like you can just eat the what's in the Tupperware and I'll just finish your bowl. He did pre-make burritos to take to work, so he just decided to do that for breakfast this morning. Fridge update. I'm kind of embarrassed. It's a fucking mess. I've literally cleaned it probably 8 times at this point and wiped it down. So maybe that's something I will do today and get it looking decent again. I mean, it's not horrible. There's nothing we can do. We just own a shitload of condiments and like an excess of butter that we don't really need. We don't even really use this butter unless we're cooking with it. Usually it's this for like just everyday use. So I am going to work on this today, maybe at some point. I also clocked the fact that I keep fast food sauces. I'm a hoarder. And I still have the wellness shots that me and my sister got. Most of them have caffeine, as you can see, so I've been trying to avoid them. Maybe I'll let Beebs take these for work if he wants them. But yeah, those are the pre-made burritos that I was talking about. I had one yesterday. They're kind of like carne asada burritos. He wanted something like what he gets from Beto's. They have beans in them. Usually I'm not a fan of beans, but they were actually very, very good. So I can actually take down these 2 reminders because I did those yesterday. I called the eligibility line and I've already let my dad and Nicole know. So I can get rid of these 2. I also have to call cardiology today because Beeb's family is planning a trip to Goblin Valley, which is like right near Moab. Beebs and I love Moab. We went together and had so much fun. When we actually weren't together for a short period of time, I had just gotten out of a toxic relationship, very toxic, with my daughter's father. And I was just not ready, so we took a little break. Anyway, it's down by Moab, and they're planning a trip in early June for everybody. It'll be his sister, his brother, and his wife, and then a close friend, I believe, is everyone that's going, and then obviously Beebs and I. They want to do it June 5th through the 8th. Cardiology usually likes to see me every 3 months around there. That's when he usually wants me to schedule the time period that we wait in between. So obviously my upcoming one is on March 2nd. I've said that like 45 times at this point. So I was going to call them to see if I could schedule the next appointment a little early, if I could like schedule it now, because the longer we wait to book the trip and like where we're going to stay or whatever, the more expensive it will get. So I have to call them today. They open in 10 minutes, so maybe I will do that once I end this vlog. So that is the reason that this little reminder is on there. I'm not getting rid of the eligibility phone number because I do need to call them back about one more thing after my cardiology appointment. So anyways, that's that. I would use the flash like I have been, but I want it on 0.5. So it unfortunately won't let you use the flash on this mode. So yeah. I'm not seeing too much of a pretty sunrise. It's just mostly blue. Very, very cold, and it looks like the roads and the sidewalks are wet, so it definitely has been raining. It doesn't look like any snow's fallen, but definitely has been raining. These dogs are being so good, I might give them a treat. Or peanut butter bones, they like those. We like to wait though in between quite a while because they either give them the runs or they vomit if we give them peanut butter too much. So I'll decide on that. I think for right now I'm just gonna give them a few training treats. I will show you the treats that we give them. So my love just texted me, but I'll have to wait to respond until after I end this. But like I was saying, these are the treats that Beebs uses for Ruby, so we just use these for Indy as well. They're the Pet Botanics training rewards, chicken flavor. This bag has lasted literally forever. I only give them like 3 or 4 at a time because these can also give them the runs. And they're just like little, they look like dog food, obviously, but they're treats. So I'm gonna give them a couple. I would show you, I guess I can. Can you sit? Indy, sit. She's not listening. So I only gave them one. I don't feel like they need a bunch of treats this early in the morning. So I think I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna end this vlog. I don't really have anything more to talk about right now. So I'm probably going to end this. But I just saw something that I wanted to show you guys. So when my mom was admitted to the best hospital in the state, it's called Intermountain Medical Center. The whole town, like my whole hometown, came together, and like our family and people close to us organized a fundraiser, and it was called the Friends Fight fundraiser. They made these window decals for your car. And this one's obviously very old. It would never stick to a window at this point. I will never get rid of it. You can see it's ripped and it's stained and like water damaged. But I decided to display this. Obviously it's for heart disease awareness. Most of my family still has these on their vehicles from 2016. But I thought I'd put it on this beautiful painting of my mom. So before I go, I'm gonna do some morning fixing of myself. Obviously I'm not going anywhere, at least I don't plan on it. I might go for a drive, but we're not for sure. But I'm just going to do a little bit of morning self-care, starting with deodorant. By the way, I got the shirt at Ross. It's like ribbed. Yeah, definitely not wearing a bra, but I don't feel the need to wear one if I'm in my own house. Plus, I'm not really a fan of bras. Usually I go free the nipple, but I'm gonna start with deodorant. I've mentioned this deodorant, I believe, before. It's my favorite. It's the roll-on. Love it. And then I'm gonna pull out my straightener also and do a little bit of TLC on this hair. Usually I wait until I'm like ready to do something for the day, but I feel like it looks like ass, so I'm gonna give it some attention. I did write a daily message on the mirror. Anyway, back to the task at hand. I'm gonna get out my brush. I actually haven't brushed my hair yet this morning, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Like I mentioned when I showed you what's in my purse, wet brush. So Phoebe's actually got me this for his place, like before we moved in together, because I was literally always there. Like I'm pretty sure there was multiple times that my dad was questioning if I moved out or not, because at the time I lived with him. But I think he actually called me out on it one time. He was like, "Are you still living here or do you want to move out?" And I was like, "Yes, Father, I'm still living here. Sorry that I'm gone all the time. I met a man that I'm kind of obsessed with. But my dad is fully supportive and he loves Beebs, which is amazing to me. That's really special. I've never had a partner that respects my dad enough to build a relationship with him, which obviously hurts, and like it's kind of a red flag for me in a partner because my dad is all I've got. He's very important to me. You guys know I don't have my mom anymore, so definitely very special to me that Beebs was willing to build a relationship with my dad from like day fucking one. On our first date, he came to the front door of my dad's house and got me. Every other man I've ever like gone on dates with or seriously like exclusively dated have always like just waited in the car because they're too much of a pussy to come to the door. But Phoebes made it a point to do that. And even after, like right after we started dating exclusively, I was in the house waiting for him to show up, and my dad and Nicole were out on the front steps, and Beebs made it a point to get out and make conversation with them. That was like his probably second time interacting with my parents in person, so that was just really, really impressive and special. And I think that was one of the things that made me fall in love with Beebs even more. I don't know, he just makes an effort, and that's always important. So that was a random rant. Okay, I'm done with my hair. I just did a rough pass over it with the straightener. I think it looks pretty decent. My tattoo really hurts, and my stomach. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to take a peppermint capsule and maybe drink some tea and just relax for the rest of the morning. And then obviously I have to call cardiology in the meantime, so maybe I'll hop on the phone with them, text my love back, and then eventually let the dogs out and have the normal usual day regular shit. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this morning's vlog. It's on the longer side since I haven't vlogged for 2 days. I don't really get out for my vlogs. I'm mostly just here at the apartment, which I'm blessed to be able to do that, and I'm blessed to have a man that like is willing to be the only one that works, because I've told him how I feel about my health as far as my heart goes when it comes to a job. So he's amazing. So anyway, moral of the story, I'm always here. If you guys are bored of apartment boring vlogs, let me know, and I'll try to get a change of scenery. I did vlog last night with my sister, but I wasn't really happy with the vlog. It was funny as fuck, but I just wasn't happy with it. So I never actually uploaded that, but I do still have it. If you guys want that, let me know, and I will upload that. But yeah, for now, that is it. I want you guys to know that I love you, and I really enjoy videos. So to those who support me, I am thankful for you. And yeah, that was my morning. I will obviously do tattoo updates moving forward as this lovely tattoo heals. But yeah, for now, I'm going to go take Tylenol and peppermint, make some tea, and relax. But like I always say, don't forget to always express what you're thankful for. Drink your water, take your meds, and if your posture's bad, fix it. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.